Tape is super useful and it's an essential item in every cyclist's toolbox. In this quick video, I'm going to show you several hacks and uses for it, which you may not know, which can either get you out of a pinch or just improve your bike. Before we crack on though, why not make yourself a brew, preferably in a GCN mug available from Shop.Global Cycling Network, because every maintenance task is better with a brew. First up, protecting your chainstay. Now, when you ride on bumpy roads, your chain moves around, it can slap and damage the chainstay, chipping it or potentially even cracking it. This is particularly prevalent as well if you're riding off-road on gravel. So one of the things that you can do is simply wrap tape, use just normal cheap electrical tape, around your chainstay to give it some protection. You can always take it off later if you need to. There's also dedicated 3M paint protection film that you can get. It's a bit more expensive than using electrical tape, but it can be transparent and clear, so that it gives a nicer finish. You can see there's actually paint protection film on this bike on the chainstay here, and also on the down tube underneath here to protect it from any rock strikes that come up there. If you are going to apply any kind of tape to these kinds of areas, it is always worth prepping the surface by wiping them down with something like isopropyl alcohol to remove grease, surfactants and dirt, so that the tape can better stick and you're not sticking dirt underneath it. It's really useful to have tape with you while you're on a ride in case you need it, but you probably don't want to carry a whole roll with you because it's quite bulky in your pocket or your bag, and also you just don't need a whole roll. So what I suggest you do is take a section and just wrap it around something you'll be taking with you on your ride, such as a water bottle, or you could perhaps wrap it around a CO2 canister or a mini pump. If you wrap it on a CO2 canister, that's added use because it actually serves as a bit of insulation, stops your hand getting too cold when you use it. But then you've got a little bit of tape which can be used in loads of different ways, which I'll show you now. You can often get annoying rattles on your bike. Typical causes are loose valves in nice carbon rims, or maybe even where the cables enter a frame. But a bit of tape can easily solve these problems. Simply take a section like that, pull it over the valve, and then secure it down. And this can help stop an annoying valve rattle. Tape can also be used to make your bike more aerodynamic. Okay, it's not pretty and it's not UCI legal, but they have no jurisdiction here. And I've done this on my TT bike and it does make a slight difference. So what you're looking to do is just cover up holes where the air can get in and just smooth out surfaces. So for example, I've got the bottle cage off here, which leaves 2 holes. Simply cover those up, make it a bit neater for the wind. But that's not all. What about this? Can also use tape to help fix a tyre that's got a big hole in it. So when you have a big hole in a tyre or a slash, your inner tube will hernia through unless you patch the tyre. Now you can't use insulation tape for this. It's not recommended because insulation tape stretches too much. However, what you can use is Gorilla Tape because it's much stronger. When you apply tape, always do it from the inside. You don't tape the outside of the tyre because the tape will simply wear away and then the hole will reappear. You can also use more than one piece if you want to get some added protection. In addition, if you have a particularly nasty puncture where you pick up some horrible object off the road or trail, like a big screw or a nail that's able to go so far through your tyre that it can damage your rim tape, you may struggle to get going again. If your rim tape's been pierced, particularly over a spoke hole, it can happen, then an inner tube might pop inside the rim as it hernias inside the hole under the rim tape, or your tubeless won't work anymore. You can fix rim tape that's been punctured by using Gorilla Tape as well. You can't use insulation tape again for this because of the same reason, it does stretch. But Gorilla Tape can be used as rim tape. Many mountain bikers swear by it. Insulation tape is really useful for wrapping your bars and also tying down your cables. So before you wrap your bars, you want to secure your cables and hoses in place. Electrical tape's the best thing for that. And then when you do wrap your bars, finishing them with electrical tape always seems to work way better than the finishing tape that comes with your brand new bar tape. Also, for an extra pro touch, Calvin from Park Tool, he recommends that you finish the wrap of your insulation tape underneath the bar, as this creates a much neater look with the join out of the way. And then what he does is he gets a little bit of heat, usually from a cigarette lighter, to just tack weld that under there, just so that it stops it unraveling. What about using tape to make Aero trip strips for your legs and maybe even your helmet? Lots to unpick here, admittedly, but this is what the Danes did in the Olympics until the UCI banned it. But the UCI, they have no jurisdiction here, so, well, crack on. However, they did use kineso tape, not Gorilla tape, like I've just used, but the idea behind it is actually sound. The Danes did it to gain an aerodynamic advantage under the expert supervision of UCI hour record holder Dan Bigham. And the idea is that as the air hits your leg, this becomes a trip strip, which is able to trip that airflow from laminar to turbulent flow, and then just help reduce the wake behind your leg. I mean, the theory's sound. If you want to do it, you can. And finally, a couple of quick fire ones, because winter is coming. Now, your shoes have holes in them. This is for venting, for when it's hot weather. But when it's cold and wet, these holes let water in and also let the cold in. So why not simply, when it gets to winter, tape them up? And lastly, your saddlebag, when it moves slightly against your carbon seat post, this can wear away and cause damage to it, especially when it's wet and dirty. It acts like wet and dry paper. So simply protect your seat post by applying a piece of tape or pieces of tape at the area where the saddlebag makes contact and can rub away. So there you have it, several hacks and uses for tape. Let us know yours in the comments section below. It's always good to hear new ones. And if you found this video useful and enjoyed it, you know what to do. Give us a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you, bye!